beyond the physical. Yeah. Not talking about the flesh or the bone. I'm talking about that spark inside. The one that's really pulling the strings while the world just watches the show. It's about being awake in a world that's fast asleep. So majestic. Yeah. I wake up and realize this body is just a vessel for the light. Driving through the day while I keep the vision in my sight. It's more than just the name or a face you see on the screen. It's the energy behind the eyes, keeping the vibration clean. I'm moving through the city, but I'm anchored in the sky, looking for the truth, why the world is so lie. Step one is knowing that you are not just what they made. Step two is breaking out of every single trap they laid. So I see the people rushing, trying to catch a fleeting dream, but I'm focused on the source, flowing like a mountain stream, spelling out the truth word by word for the wise to hear, removing every doubt and keeping all the vision clear. I'm the pilot in the seat, watching how the gears turn, taking every lesson that the universe helped me learn. Walking through the fire, but I never feel the burn, because I know the power is the only thing I should earn. Real talk, I'm the one in control, moving way beyond the physical. Life is more than logic, man, it's truly something mystical. Yeah, beyond the physical, where the truth starts to rise, seeing through the mask and all the clever little lies. So I'm the one in control, moving way beyond the physical. They try to box me in with a label and a price tag, but I'm flying higher than any colored piece of rag. My mind is a garden where I pull the weeds of hate. I don't leave my purpose up to luck or a twist of fate. I told my son Xavier, daddy's built for something great, to look inside himself before he steps outside the gate. It's a heavy weight to carry when you know the real deal, but I'd rather face the pain than forget how to feel. I see the same sparkle in my daughter when she smiles, knowing that her legacy travels across 1,000 miles. So I'm just counting up the blessings one by one every single night, spelling out the victory, because we're winning the fight. I'm a boss in my lane, but a servant to the soul, keeping my integrity while I'm reaching for the goal. Nothing in this world can never dim the inner glow, as long as I remember there is so much more to know. Real talk, I'm the one in control, moving way beyond the physical. Life is more than logic, man, it's truly something mystical. Yeah, beyond the physical, where the truth starts to rise, seeing through the mask and all the clever little lies. So I'm the one in control, moving way beyond the physical. Sometimes the noise gets loud and the path gets blurry, but the master of the house never acts in a hurry. Real talk, sit in the silence until I hear the right tone. The king on a mission even when he stands alone. It's a mental shift, the flip of the internal switch, making sure the message stays deep and stays rich. So I'm looking at the mirror, but I'm seeing something more, a cosmic traveler who just walked through the door. The streets are just a stage and the people play a part, but the director of the film is the wisdom in my heart. I don't need a crown to know exactly who I am. I'm the one who escaped from the mental traffic jam. Real talk, 7 days a week I'm refining the craft, building up the future on a solid gold draft. I treat my brothers right and I keep my circle tight, making sure we all make it through the darkest of the night. No more living for the eyes of a stranger in the crowd. I'm speaking to the heavens and I'm speaking it loud. If you feel the pulse, then you know you aren't alone. We are reclaiming the power on the internal throne. Spell out the freedom, let it ring in your ears. We are overcoming all the ancient human fears. Real talk, I'm the one in control. Moving way beyond the physical. Life is more than logic. Man, it's truly something mystical. Beyond the physical, where the truth starts to rise. Seeing through the mask and all the clever little lies. I'm the one in control. Moving way beyond the physical. You see, once you realize you're the one behind the wheel, the whole road changes. It's not about the car, it's about the driver. Stay conscious, stay soulful. Royal D, so majestic. Yeah. I seen the room change when the word got real. Ain't nothing fancy about pressure, but it show you who meant it. Real talk. I came up quiet, kept my head in the light, while the same old noise tried to dim my sight. They smiled in my face, then moved strange on the side, but I kept my faith in the ride, kept my pride. Every hit I took turned into a lesson. Every heavy day built a new direction. I ain't chase applause, I just stayed in my lane. Had to learn some pain could turn into gain. They wanted me folded, wanted me off track. Instead I got sharper, brought my focus right back. I seen false love when the truth got near, so I cut loose weight and I cleared that fear. Now the moves I make got a calm that's clear. I'm stronger in my steps every year. I don't need loud talk to prove my frame. My life speak clean when they say my name. So they can't stop what they didn't start. Can't break a soul that was built from heart. What they meant for harm turned into art. I rose from the low when I kept my part. They can't stop what they didn't start. I kept my peace and I kept my spark. What they sent my way only made me smart. I rose from the low when I kept my part. I watched eyes get cold when the pace got up. Same one stayed quiet when the grace showed up. Pain switched my soul for a little fake shine. I let truth breathe in the space of time. Had some nights I was tired, had some nights I was drained. Still I found a new beat in the hurt, in the strain. It's a thin line between love and disguise. So I read through the mask, looked straight through the lies. Now I move with intent, I don't talk too much. I let proof do the work, I don't force no clutch. Every closed door brought a better view. Every block road still let me through. I stay grounded in the way that I live. Keep my cup full with the peace I give. When the pressure rise, I don't lose my mind. I just move with grace and I stay alive. Real talk. They can't stop what they didn't start. Can't break a soul that was built from heart. What they meant for harm turned into art. I rose from the low when I kept my part. They can't stop what they didn't start. I kept my peace and I kept my spark. What they sent my way only made me smart. I rose from the low when I kept my part. Yeah. Maybe the lesson was never the pain. Maybe it was learning how to stand through the rain. Maybe the loudest thing is a quiet mind. When you stop reaching back, you free up time. I ain't bitter now, I just know the score. What was meant to end me made me want it more. So by walking my truth, truth with a steady pace. No fake front on my face, just a settled grace. The ones who doubt it gotta watch me bloom. Now the whole room bright when I step in the room. I remember the nights I was close to done. Now I wake with peace when the day begun. It ain't luck when you learn how to stay the course. It's a strong kind of love with a quiet force. I built from the hurt and I built from the sweat. Kept my word to myself, never broke that bed. I don't need day cheers to know I'm here. I can feel that strength when the path get clear. If they talk from afar, let them talk and fade. I'm too busy living what I prayed and made. And I'm still in the frame with a humble flame. Same heart, new ground, still holding my name, yeah.
They can't stop what they didn't start.
Can't break a soul that was built from heart.
What they meant for harm turned into art.
I rose from the low when I kept my part.
They can't stop what they didn't start.
I kept my peace and I kept my spark.
What they sent my way only made me smarter.
I rose from the low when I kept my part. That's what growth look like. When the pressure don't win, you keep your peace, keep your word, keep moving. Real talk, real talk, real talk. You know, I've realized that life isn't always about who has the biggest bank account or the flashiest car. It's about when I wake up every single morning with nothing but a plan and a heart full of devotion. Even when my pockets are light, my effort is heavy. I need you to respect that hustle. Real talk, I wake up before the sun even thinks about rising. Checking the cabinet, seeing what I'm prioritizing. I might not have $1 million in the vault right now, but I'm figuring out the window, wearing the how. My boots are worn out from walking those miles of pavement. Every single dollar I earn is a holy engagement. Yeah, I see you need a hand and I'm the first one there. No excuses made, just a heavy load I'm willing to bear. It's easy to give when I got plenty to spare in the bin, but it's different when I'm building from the bottom to win. I'll skip a meal just to make sure the table is set for you. That's the kind of loyalty I keep, honest and true, boss. I don't complain about the weight on my aching back. I just keep moving forward, staying right on the track. 4 walls and the roof, I make sure the rain stays out. Giving you everything I have, removing every single doubt. Give credit to the heart that never knows how to quit. Even when the world tries to dim the light that is lit, I'm doing everything I can with the little in my hand. Building the foundation, making a firm place to land. So majestic,
It's that soulful devotion.
that grounded kind of grace, keeping a steady rhythm in this fast and hectic race. I got 2 hands in the mind that's always on the grind, leaving all the selfish motives and the ego far behind. Maybe my jewelry isn't gold and my clothes on designer, but you won't find a soul that is purer or a heart any finer. I spend my last 20 just to see your smile on your face, moving with a purpose, never feeling like a secondary case. I'm teaching the youth that respect is earned through the sweat, a lesson in character that I won't ever let them forget. 7 days a week I'm proving what a man should be, not defined by the riches but by my integrity. When the heater breaks down, I'm under the vent with a tool, staying calm and collected, keeping my energy cool. I might be tired, eyes heavy from the stress of the day, but I still find the strength to wash the worries away. It's my small gestures that carry the heaviest weight, showing up every time, never leaving it up to fate. Give credit to the heart that never knows how to quit. Even when the world tries to dim the light that is lit, I'm doing everything I can with the little in my hand. building the foundation, making a firm place to land. So majestic.
It's that soulful devotion,
that grounded kind of grace,
keeping a steady rhythm in this fast and hectic race.
Look past the surface and see the man underneath the strain. See the way I shield the family from the wind and the rain. It's not about the destination or the trophy on the shelf. It's about the way I give until there's nothing for myself. That's a different kind of wealth, a currency of the soul, making sure the people I love stay healthy and whole. Real talk, I sacrifice my dreams just to fuel up yours, opening up the windows while I'm locking all the doors. I'm the silent engine keeping the whole machine in motion, drowning out the noise with a deep and endless ocean of devotion. I walk through the fire if it means you stay in the shade, never asking for a refund for the price that I paid. 10 years from now you'll look back at the seeds I've sown, realizing that the greatest love is the one that is grown from the struggle in the dirt. Something beautiful rose, that's just how the story of the real provider goes. I might not have the world, but I give you my entire life, cutting through the hardship like a sharp and steady knife. Respect is the least you can offer to a soul so brave, working from the cradle all the way down to the grave. I'm a king in my own right, without a crown or a throne, just a man making sure that my love is clearly known.
Give credit to the heart that never knows how to quit,
even when the world tries to dim the light that is lit.
I'm doing everything I can with the little in my hand,
building the foundation, making a firm place to land. So majestic.
It's that soulful devotion,
that grounded kind of grace,
keeping a steady rhythm in this fast and hectic race.
Yeah. Don't ever overlook the man who's putting in the work behind the scenes. It's easy to cheer for the person who's already at the top, but the real hero is the one climbing the mountain with you on his back. The price of the future. Look, I'm just looking at the world through the eyes of a father, thinking about the ground we walk on and the air we breathe. It feels like every move is being cataloged, every step is being weighed. But we have to speak up, not for us, but for the ones coming after. Real talk, let's get into it. I wake up feeling the weight of 1,000 eyes watching through the glass. It's a strange era where freedom feels like a coin tossed in the grass. They say it's for protection, but I see the strings pulling at our wrist. Founded on the idea of being independent, now we're lost in the mist. So majestic. I look at the bills and the greed, sitting at the highest of seats, while the honest man is struggling just to find something to eat. And making a killing while we're just trying to survive the day. Real talk. Ignoring the foundation and the very words we used to say. I see the sheep being guided toward a fence that's built out of fear, but the truth is a frequency that only the courageous can hear. I got 2 feet on the pavement and a heart full of heavy concern, wondering when the lessons we've been taught are finally gonna be learned. It's about the legacy we leave when the ink finally goes dry. We can't just sit in silence and watch the bird of liberty die. I'm feeling the pressure, but I won't let the flame flicker out. This is the moment we redefine what this life is actually about.
We're moving through the fire just to find a little bit of peace.
So majestic.
majestic.
Hoping that the grip of the watches will eventually find a release. It's a soulful journey for the soul that refused to be sold, trading in the silver just to keep a hold of the natural gold. Real talk, yeah, we're walking forward with our heads held high and clear, fighting for a world where our children don't have to live in fear. I'm scared of my marrow, but I take the field with a shaking hand, because a man who stands for nothing will never understand this land. My daughter's smile is the reason I can't afford to just turn away. I wanted to see a sunrise that isn't filtered by a digital gray. Some they think they own the narrative, they think they bought the script, but the human essence is something that can never truly be stripped. I see the numbers rising while the value of a person goes down. It's like we're all wearing a heavy, invisible kind of crown. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, the lens is wide, searching for a reason to keep the common people tucked inside. But there's a power in the collective, a rhythm in the many. Even when they try to tell us that we aren't worth a single penny, I'm planting seeds in the garden, hoping the harvest is pure, making sure the foundation of our independence stays firm and sure. It's a long road ahead and the mountain is looking quite steep, but I made a promise to the little ones that I intend to keep. Yeah. We're moving through the fire just to find a little bit of peace. So majestic,
So majestic.
hoping that the grip of the watches will eventually find a release. It's a soulful journey for the soul that refused to be sold, trading in the silver just to keep a hold of the natural gold. Real talk, yeah, we're walking forward with our heads held high and clear, fighting for a world where our children don't have to live in fear. Change doesn't come from the top, it grows from the roots of the tree. It starts with a person deciding that they finally wanna be free. It's not about the anger, it's about the love that we carry inside. Choosing the path of the truth instead of finding a place to hide. So majestic, so I fight while I'm trembling. I speak with a crack in my voice. Real talk, because letting them win is a debt I refuse to make my choice. The price of the future is paid in the courage we find in the now, wiping the sweat and the worry away from the lines on my brow. Yeah, we're more than just data, we're more than a blip on the screen. We're the heartbeat of a nation that's still striving to be seen. One day they'll look back and see that we didn't just fold, that the story of the brave was the only one that ever got told. So majestic, I'm looking at the horizon where the light's starting to break, counting every single breath and every single step that we take. There are 10,000 reasons to keep moving toward the light, and I use every one of them to fuel the heat of the fight. It's about the dignity of life and the rights that were meant to be ours underneath the vastness of the moon and the light of the stars. Boss, I'm doing this for the youth, for the ones who deserve to be bold. They see the gear, they see the sight, but they don't see the man inside the suit. Don't ever confuse stature with status. Let's get into it. I'm I'm often underestimated cause of my size. You can tell I go to war by the look in my eyes. I despise hating ass niggas, how you figure that the heart in my chest ain't 10 times bigger? I'm building something silent while you're chasing the trend. Brick by brick, I don't need to pretend. Got the weight of the world, but I'm keeping my pace. Looking for the finish line, not just a place. They see the sweat, but they don't see the soul. How I turned every loss into a winning gold. I'm a giant in the spirit, short in the frame. But when the dust settles, you're gonna know the name. No shortcuts taken, I'm earning every dime. Climbing up the ladder, one rung at a time. I'm the master of the craft, the king of the dirt. Putting in the work until my memories hurt. This is more than a job, it's a legacy in motion. Deep-seated drive, deeper than the ocean. They look at the surface, I'm looking at the plan. Proving every day I'm a different kind of man. Yeah, I'm building for the future, not just for the day. Letting my actions lead the whole damn way. Yeah, I'm building for the future, not just for the day. Letting my actions lead the whole damn way. I've been in the trenches while you were in the shade, sharpening the tools, making sure I'm paid. They underestimate the power of the quiet until the inner strength starts a whole new riot. I don't bark, I just bite when the timing is right. Working through the darkness to find the light. Every scar on my hands is a story of grit. I never back down and I never ever quit. I'm the architect of my own destiny, refining the vision that's the best of me. They see the uniform, I see the empire, fueling the engine with a relentless fire. Keep your opinions, I keep the results, elevating high above all the insults. I'm the stone that the builders tried to reject. Now I'm the one demanding all the respect. The blueprint is set, the foundation is firm. Teaching every hater it's their time to learn. I'm the captain of the ship, navigating the storm, breaking every limit, shattering the norm. From the ground up, I'm rising to the top. Once I get started, I'm never gonna stop. Yeah. To the top. Once I get started, I'm never gonna stop. Yeah. I'm the proof that the hustle pays off in the end. I'm the one that the broken ones call a friend. But don't mistake the kindness for a sign of a flaw. I'm still the coldest dog that you ever saw. I'm focused on the bag and the peace of mind, leaving all the negative energy behind. I'm a warrior of peace, but a soldier of war. Always pushing further, always wanting more. The height doesn't matter when you're standing on truth. I've been putting in work since the days of my youth. Now the vision is clear and the path is wide. With the strength of a lion moving inside. I learned from the pain. It's one of those nights, thinking back on everything that tried to break me. Real talk. But I'm still here, still moving.
So majestic.
I remember cold nights, stomach touching my back. Mama stressing bills, trying hard to keep us on track. I seen smiles fade quick when the rent came due. nobody really coming to save you. Had dreams bigger than the room I was sleeping in. Heart full of fire even when I wasn't eating in. Friends turned distant when the struggle got deep. Now they watching every move when I finally eat. I kept faith even when the road felt long. Turned pain into rhythm, now we're living my song. Never folded under pressure, I just grew instead. Every loss that I took put some strength in my legs. I was doubted, overlooked, left out the plan. Now they quoting what I said like they been a fan. I don't brag, I reflect on the path I made. Every scar got a lesson, I just learned from the pain. I learned from the pain, I pulled through the fire. So majestic. Every setback pushed me higher and higher. Yeah, they don't see all the nights I prayed. Real talk, but I came out stronger. I was never afraid. I learned from the pain, now I move with a plan. Turn losses into wins, now they understand. I ain't perfect, but I'm building my lane. Every step, every breath I learn from the pain. I seen loyalty fade when the money got tight. Real talk. Same one switched up, couldn't look in my eyes. Had to cut ties just to keep my peace. Sometimes distance the only way to hurt decrease. I was giving my all, they was taking the light. Now I move with intention, everything precise. No more pouring my soul where it don't get respect. I invest in my growth, I ain't chasing the check. Had to learn self-worth, that was part of the climb. Now I value every second, every drop of my time. Used to doubt my own voice, kept it locked inside. Now I speak with purpose, let the truth be my guide. I ain't bitter, I just see it for what it is. Some people only love you when you're doing for them. So I stay in my lane, let my actions explain how I turned all the hurt I learned from. I learned from the pain, I pulled through the fire. So majestic. Every setback pushed me higher and higher. Yeah, they don't see all the nights I prayed. Real talk, but I came out stronger. I was never afraid. I learned from the pain, now I move with a plan. Turn losses into wins, now they understand. I ain't perfect, but I'm building my lane. Every step, every breath I learn from the pain. It hit different when you finally see it clear. Real talk, all the doubt, all the fear disappear. I ain't chasing validation no more. I found everything I needed at the core. Now I walk with a calm that I never had before. Every closed door led me right to a better goal. I don't rush, I align with the time and I trust. Everything meant for me, always showing up. I didn't cry every tears when nobody was near. Now I smile knowing I survived every year. Real talk, I built strength in silence, kept my head right. Now my future looking clear, yeah, my bread right. Still humble, still grounded in the way that I move. I don't flex, I just let the results prove. I remember feeling lost, now I'm leading the way. Every step that I take got a purpose today. I ain't chasing approval, I just live what I claim. And I owe it all to how I learned from the pain. I learned from the pain, I grew through the fire. So majestic. Every setback pushed me higher and higher. Yeah, they don't see all the nights I prayed. Real talk, but I came out stronger. I was never afraid. I learned from the pain, now I move with a plan. Turn losses into wins, now they understand. I ain't perfect, but I'm building my lane. Every step, every breath I learn from the pain. It wasn't easy, but it made me who I am today. Real talk. If you're going through it, keep going. It's It's all part of the growth.
Yeah. So majestic.
You know, they say history repeats itself, but sometimes it just changes its clothes. It's not always about what's hidden in the dark anymore. It's about what's being said right in front of the cameras. We gotta stay awake, stay informed, and realize that our seat at the table was bought with a heavy price. Let's talk about it, real talk. I'm looking at the screen and I see the same old story, but the villains don't look the same, they chasing different glory. They trading in the white robes for a suit and a tie, trying to take the ground we gained and make the truth a lie. The 14th was a promise written in the deepest red, ensuring that the living wouldn't suffer like the dead. But now they standing at the podium with the law degree, questioning the very soul of what it means to be free. So majestic. 158 years of holding our own, and they wanna act like the seeds we planted never grown. It's a different kind of pressure when the pen is the blade, and they tryna unmake every single move we made. But we see the play, we read in every single line. We won't let them take the clock and try to rewind time. 16 bars of truth just to let the neighborhood know that the roots of our citizenship are buried deep below. Real talk.
We are the heart of the city, the pulse of the land, holding on to the promise with a firm, steady hand. They can't erase the legacy or the path that we paved. We moving with the wisdom of the ones who were brave. It's more than just a paper, it's the life that we live. We got so much love and so much power to give.
The urban landscape is changing, but the spirit stays the same. We gotta know the rules if we gonna win the game. It's about the school boards and the way they draw the lines, keeping us divided while they chasing after signs. They wanna make us feel like our voice doesn't carry weight, but the power of the people is what really decides the fate. Education is the armor that we gotta put on to make sure the rights we have are never truly gone. I see the brothers on the corner and the sisters in the shop. We gotta keep the conversation going, never let it stop.
So majestic.
They counting on our silence, they counting on the fear, but we speaking truth to power so the whole world can hear. 1 vote, 2 votes, every single one is a flame, lighting up the darkness and reclaiming our name. We are the architects of the future, the builders of the dream, and we stronger than any system or any crooked scheme.
We are the heart of the city, pulse of the land, holding on to the promise with a firm, steady hand. They can't erase the legacy or the path that we paved. We moving with the wisdom of the ones who were brave. It's more than just a paper, it's the life that we live. We got so much love and so much power to give. It's easy to get tired when the mountain looks high, but look at how far we've come under this open sky.
So majestic. We shifted the perspective from the struggle to the win, and now it's time to let the real healing begin. We are the answer to the prayers of the ones before, and we walking through every single open. I remember my grandmother saying, keep your head up high, don't let nobody tell you that you don't qualify. You a citizen by birth and a king by your grace, and you deserve to have a seat in every single space. So when you hear them talking about overturning the law, remember all the beauty and the strength that they saw. They wouldn't try to take it if it wasn't worth the lie. We holding down the fort and we guarding every spot. From the east side to the west, we gotta stay unified with the truth as our compass and our dignity as our guide. No more dog whistles, they shouting it out loud, but we standing in the light, humble and proud, so majestic. We the ones they fear because we know our own worth. The salt of the city and the kings of the earth. The 14th is the spine, the legal backbone of the soul, and we keeping the eyes on the ultimate goal.
We are the heart of the city, pulse of the land, holding on to the promise with a firm, steady hand. They can't erase the legacy or the path that we paved. We moving with the wisdom of the ones who will brave. It's more than just the paper, it's the life that we live. We got so much love and so much power to give.
Boss. Yeah. It's time to do the research. Don't just take my word for it. Look into the laws. Look into the history. When they tell you who they are, believe them the first time. Our citizenship isn't a gift, it's a right, and we're gonna protect it with everything we got. Stay soulful, stay conscious, and most importantly, stay together. Stay together. Yeah. The block been watching, and the pressure don't sleep. When the truth get loud, the silence get deep. We gotta move smart, keep our minds on guard, cause the road get rough when the signs get hard. I seen the news fade while the problem grew. Seen good people stressed with a lot to do. New towers rise but the air feel thin, and the same old pain keep creeping in. Folks in the city trying to live and breathe, while the powers make plans nobody can see. Children in the frame with the future on hold. Mothers counting bills, trying not to fold. Fathers on the grind with a heavy load. Every day a little more weight on the road. We need more than talk, need facts on deck, need clean air, clear minds and some real respect. Need neighbors united, not stuck in fear. Need voices that ring when the room won't hear. Need truth in the streets, not just polished news. Cause when the smoke move in, it's the people who lose.
Lock and stay ready, keep your people close.
Protect the home front,
that's what matters most.
Speak up,
stay steady, let the whole world know.
we can change the
pace when we move like so.
Yeah. It start with a rumor, then it turn to fact. Then the same old damage come right back. A plant by the school, a truck by the lane, a bill in the dark, but the people feel pain. So we ask the hard questions one by one. Who benefits first when the work gets spun? Who pays the cost when the lights stay on? Who breathes that burden when the day is gone? The city ain't broken, it's been overused, packed with ambition and left bruised. But I still believe in a stronger way, where the block can heal and the kids can play, where clean solutions meet honest hands, where the plan serves life, not just the land, where folks get heard before the deal gets sealed, and the community keeps the final feel.
Lock and stay ready, keep your people close.
Protect the
home front, that's what matters most.
Speak up,
stay steady, let the whole world know. We can change the pace when we move like so.
Maybe the answer starts with us. In meetings on porches, building trust. Not waiting on rescue, not moving blind. Just sharpening, hoping, holding line. If we know the facts, then we know the fight. In the future get better, when the steps get right. I want clean streets in the sky that's clear. I want less fear when the kids play near. I want power that serves without leaving scars. I want progress that don't steal who we are. So we map that path with a grounded plan. Talk to the neighbors, take a stand. Bring the doctors, bring the data too. Let the truth get loud in the public view. That's how a city keep its soul intact. By knowing the cost and calling it back. By building with care, not just with speed. By meeting the moment with what we need. And what we need is simple and real. Health, dignity, and a fairer deal. When the block stays rising, the people rise. We can shape that future with open eyes.
Lock in, stay ready. Keep your people close. Protect the home front. That's what matters most.
Speak up,
stay steady. Let the whole world know we can change the pace when we move like so.
That's the kind of message that keeps us moving right. Know the facts, protect the people, and stay in the fight. Yo, I'm looking at these papers and the ink feels heavy. They're talking about strategy, but I see the strategy between the lines. It's like they building a fence around the neighborhood, calling it protection. Let's talk about what happens when the lens is pointed at us. Real talk. I'm reading through the pages of a brand new plan, looking at the words like they don't understand the man. Yeah, they talk about the threats and they grouping us in categories, but I've seen this before, it's just the same old story. So much they mention radical ideas and the way we choose to live, but they never mention all the heart and soul we got to give. If you're living in the city and your skin is dark as night, suddenly you're under pressure in that tactical light. They say they keeping peace, but the strength feels like a grip on the throat of the culture. Watch the narrative slip. 16 bars of truth in a world full of fiction, trying to find a peace inside of all this contradiction. They mention foreign actors, but the eyes stay on the block while the clock keeps ticking and the system starts to lock. So the heavy weight to carry when the target's on your back, and they calling it a strategy to keep us on the track. They building up the walls and they calling it a shield, but we the ones left standing in the middle of the field. It's a long road to travel when the rules keep changing fast, trying to build a future while we running from the past. Real talk, yeah, we looking for the light, but the sun is getting low, and there's nowhere else for the honest man to go. They talking about the border, but the focus shifts inside to the families in the high rise with nowhere to hide. They use words like extremists for a man who wants to change, put a label on his hustle just to keep him in the range. So much, I see the way they watching every move a brother makes, like they waiting for the moment for one of our mistakes. The document is cold, it's got no room for the heart, just a blueprint for the law, and they talk about the right, but the civil rights are fading. In the middle of the night, I'm looking at my daughter and I'm wondering what she'll see in a world that sees a father as a threat to be free. It's $1 million budget just to monitor the street, while the people in the kitchen got no food for to eat. Real talk. They call it common sense, but it feels like a trap. Putting pins on the map while they widen the gap. They building up the walls and they calling it a shield, but we the ones left standing in the middle of the field. It's a long road to travel when the rules keep changing fast. Trying to build a future while we running from the past. Real talk. Yeah, we looking for the light, but the sun is getting low, and there's nowhere else for the honest man to go. Maybe one day the truth will be the only thing we sign, and we won't have to search for the secrets in the line. So majestic. It's about the perspective and the way the story's told. Will we stay in the heat or be left out in the cold? Yeah, I'm standing on the corner and I'm thinking about the cost of a strategy that treats us like our lives are already lost. They wanna map the ties and they wanna map the ties, but they never map the tears that are falling from the eyes. No pretext for the love that we building in the dark, just a spark in the engine of a revolutionary heart. Some are the ones who keep it moving when the world is standing still, but they'd rather see us broken by the power of the will. Don't let them take your joy or the way you see the truth. We've been fighting for our lives since the days of our youth. Keep your head on a swivel and your heart on your sleeve. There's a power in the spirit that they never believe. We are people of the sun, we are people of the grace, even when they trying hard just to put us in a place. So I'm writing down the lyrics just to keep the record straight before the ink starts to dry and it's finally too late. They building up the walls and they calling it a shield, but we the ones left standing in the middle of the field. It's a long road to travel when the rules keep changing fast. Trying to build a future while we running from the past. Real talk. Yeah, we looking for the light, but the sun is getting low, and there's nowhere else for the honest man to go. It's deep, man. When you read that page 4 and page 5, you see how they can turn a neighbor into a number. We gotta stay awake. We gotta keep our own narrative alive. 'Cause if we don't tell our story, they gon' write it for us in a way that doesn't include our humanity. Real talk. Realities of the maze. Check it. They look at the surface and think they know the story. They see the struggle but don't see the blueprint. This is for everyone navigating the maze, trying to turn that pressure into something royal. Let's talk about it. Real talk. Walking through the alley where the light barely hits the ground, looking for a way why they trying to keep me down. I was born in the middle of a struggle you can measure, turning all this heavy pain into a hidden treasure. So majestic. They see a young man moving with a purpose in his stride, but they don't see the ocean of the tears I had to hide. I'm a king in the jungle where the lions gotta eat, keeping both my eyes open while I'm walking on the street. Life is like a puzzle with a million missing parts, trying to find a rhythm in the world with heavy hearts. Real talk. I refuse to be a number on the paper in the file. I would rather take the long way and walk another mile. People judging from a distance with a narrow narrow point of view, but they never spent a second in the pair of these shoes. Every single obstacle is just a lesson learned today. Finding strength in every moment as I'm clearing out the way. The grind is constant and the vision stays clear, overcoming every doubt and silencing the fear. So majestic. You call it a cycle, but I see the design. Trying to break the locks and reclaim what is mine. They wanna keep us contained in the box, but I'm turning every struggle into keys for the lock. Yes, set up. If you don't play it right, but we moving toward the morning. In the middle of the real talk. I seen the flashing lights and I felt the cold still. Dealing with the pressure that most people never feel. They pull us over just to see if we might break, taking everything they can until there's nothing left to take. I'm tired of the sirens waking up the neighborhood, knowing that the intentions ain't never really good. So the judge sits high while we looking from below, deciding on the future that they don't even know. I see my brothers caught up in the web of legal lies, watching all the hope just fade out from their eyes. We need a different system built on truth and respect, instead of all these chains that keep the soul in check. I'm speaking for the ones who never had a fair shake, counting every single heart that they managed to break. But I won't let the bitterness consume my inner peace. I'm working for the day when all this tension will cease. I'm a man of my word and I'm standing on the truth, trying to be the inspiration for the struggling youth. You call it a cycle, but I see the design. Trying to break the locks and reclaim what is mine. They wanna keep us contained in the box, but I'm turning every struggle into keys for the lock. Yes, set up. If you don't play it right, but we moving toward the morning. In the middle of the real talk. It's easy to get lost when the walls start closing in, but the moment you decide to grow is when you really win. So majestic. Just your perspective and look at the whole map. There's a way out of every single mental trap. We rising up higher than they ever thought we could, bringing all the royalty back into the hood. I keep my mouth moving because the truth needs a voice. Living with a purpose like I never had a choice. They can try to cage the body, but the mind is always free. That's the only way to live for a person like me. I'm planting seeds of greatness in the patch of dry land, building up a legacy with these two bare hands. So every word I speak is like a brick in the wall, building up a fortress so my family won't fall. I remember nights when the hunger was a friend, swearing that the cycle was finally gonna end. Now I'm looking at the summit while I'm climbing up the hill, driven by a passion and a very strong will. 10 toes down while I'm navigating the maze, focusing my energy on better sunny days. No more feeling like an outcast or a stranger in the land. I'm taking back the power and I'm taking a stand, moving with a majesty that they can take away. Royal in my spirit every second of the day. You call it a cycle, but I see the design. Trying to break the locks and reclaim what is mine. They wanna keep us contained in the box, but I'm turning every struggle into keys for the lock. Yes, set up. If you don't play it right, but we moving toward the morning. In the middle of the real talk. You see, the trap only works if you stay blind to the exit. We opening doors now. We turning tragedies into majesty. Stay focused. Stay grounded. And never let the environment dictate the height of your throne, royalty. So majestic. words are dancing on the page, trying to hide the truth in plain sight. They talk about civilizational confidence, but it sounds like a code for something else. I'm just a man with a vision, looking at the blueprint they laid out. Let's break it down with that bounce. Real talk. I'm looking at the document and reading through the lines, while the rhythm of the city starts to move within the signs. Yeah, they talk about the extremists and the ones they wanna find, but they building up a cage for the independent mind. So majestic. Page 5 is heavy, got the labels in a row, mapping out the places where the urban spirits grow. If I'm standing for my people, then I'm radical and left. Just a reason for the system to commit a little theft. Ball. They say they want the peace, but the strength is on the neck. Why they scanning every brother just to keep us all in check? It's a futuristic bounce with a conscious kind of soul, trying to keep my sanity while they fighting for control. They talk about the tactical and kinetic in the field, but the power of the truth is the only thing we wield. So just 16 bars of rhythm with that syncopated snap, watching how they try to put the culture in a trap. Baby girl, I'm the man with the plan for the day, even when the strategy is trying to get in the way. We got that soulful bounce and the wisdom in the street, walking through the fire with the rhythm in our feet. Real talk. They can write 1,000 pages, but they can't take the soul. When the people at the bottom finally take the control. They talking about new alliances on page number 8, like they looking for a reason just to amplify the hate. I see the way they mention drones and the way the tech is used, while the rights of the innocent are getting all abused. They talk about protection, but it feels like a wall, waiting for the moment that they hope to see us fall. So majestic. I'm looking at the neighborhood through an authentic lens, seeing how the narrative is where the trouble starts and ends. They call it common sense, but it's $1 million scheme to put a heavy limit on a young brother's dream. I got that stutter step flow, keep them guessing where I'm at, in a world where they treat us like a target on a mat. The ink is still wet on the America First plan, but I'm wondering if they ever really thought about the man. Real talk, trying to find a balance in the middle of the heat, with a frequency of healing and a syncopated beat. Baby girl, I'm the man with the plan for the day, even when the strategy is trying to get in the way. We got that soulful bounce and the wisdom in the street, walking through the fire with the rhythm in our feet. Real talk. They can write 1,000 pages, but they can't take the soul. When the people at the bottom finally take the control. It's that peace through strength, but the strength is looking cold in the story where the ending is already being told. So Majid don't need a document to tell us who we are. We the ones who keep the light even when we see the scar. Page 15 says it's a no-fail mission from the top, but the pressure on the urban life is never gonna stop. They talk about neutralizing things they don't understand, why they shifting all the power to a different set of hands. I'm a king, I'm a father, I'm a man of the earth, trying to show the world exactly what a life is worth. So much, don't let the labels categorize your spirit or your name. We playing for the truth while they playing for the game. Keep your vibration high, stay tuned to the light, even when the strategy is keeping us in sight. I'm urban, I'm grounded, I'm authentic to the core, and I'm standing on the truth like I told you once before. So let the music bounce and let the soul take the lead, giving every listener the type of medicine they need. 150 tracks and the mission stays the same, using every lyric just to elevate the frame. Baby girl, I'm the man with the plan for the day, even when the strategy is trying to get in the way. We got that soulful bounce and the wisdom in the street, walking through the fire with the rhythm in our feet. Real talk. They can write 1,000 pages, but they can't take the soul. When the people at the bottom finally take the control. Yeah. When they start labeling anarchists and anti-fascists next to narco-terrorists, you tell me? Yeah, Grand Rising. To the ones who see the truth.
So majestic.
It's funny how simple greeting can make a whole building shake. They wanna talk about good morning while they're planning your morning. But I'm coming in with a different energy. I'm coming in with that grand rising spirit. They can't handle the aroma of a man who knows exactly who he is. Real talk. I walked into the building with the center of the earth, yeah, representing the struggle and the value of my birth.
So majestic.
The judge looked up and he offered a greeting. I gave him back a vibration that sent his heart beating. I said, Grand Rising, and the room was still like I had just climbed to the top of a sacred hill. He asked me, what is that? With a look of pure hate, like a simple phrase of life, could seal of my fate. I told him, Grand Rising, my honor with a smile. Knowing that I'm walking through a long and narrow mile. He didn't like the sound and he didn't like the tone, because I brought a sovereign spirit to his cold stone throne. Now they call it a symptom and they call it a sign that I'm losing my grip on the strings of my mind. But I'm just elevating past the level of the floor, opening up a brand new and spiritual door.
So majestic.
Yeah, they watching how I move and they listening how I talk. They can't handle the sin or the way that I rise. They see the truth reflecting in the center of my eyes. It's a grand rising. Even when the sun is going down, they can't take the frequency or the weight of the crown.
So majestic.
Yeah, they watching how I move and they listening how I talk, but they can't feel the rhythm of the path that I walk. Last year I made the whole courtroom spin around, real with the fragrance of a plant that came up from the ground. Yeah, they acted like I fired up a blunt in the front row, just because I carry the essence wherever I go.
So majestic.
The judge got mad and he told me I had to leave, because I didn't have a trick or a lie up my sleeve. I just had the aroma of the culture that I keep, while the rest of the world is still falling fast asleep. Now the docket is writing about cannabis use, using old stories as a tactical excuse. Real talk, the case for moving to the truth on the tape, trying to find a way for the system to escape. So then call me incompetent, because I won't play along with a narrative that's consistently and strictly wrong. But I'ma keep rising like the morning dew, bringing the perspective that is ancient and new. They can't handle the sin or the way that I rise. They see the truth reflecting in the center of my eyes. It's a grand rising. Even when the sun is going down, they can't take the frequency or the weight of the crown.
Majestic.
Yeah, they watching how I move and they listening how I talk, but they can't feel the rhythm of the path that I walk. It's a culture clash happening right in the open. Real talk, the words of the ancestors are finally being spoken. Yeah, they wanna mute the volume and they wanted them to light, but they can't stop knocking till I break down the door. They recommend a facility for 3 months or 4, yeah, to teach me how to act when I walk through the door. Real, they wanna train my mind to accept that good morning, while I'm out here giving them a spiritual warning. Psychotic disorder is just a label for the free, for the ones who can see what the system won't be. I never told the doctor that I smoke a light, but she put it in the report just to make it look right. Boss, they stalking the socials and they're watching the feed, trying to find a reason to suppress the holy seed. Yeah, but the body cam footage is the witness that I need to show them that the truth is a very different breed. So grand rising to the judge and the doctor as well. I'ma keep on rising while you're creating this hell. My cadence is slow because I'm savoring the win. Knowing that the truth is where the story will begin. They can't handle the sin or the way that I rise. They see the truth reflecting in the center of my eyes. It's a grand rising. Even when the sun is going down, they can't take the frequency or the weight of the crown. So majestic. Yeah, they watching how I'm moving, they listening how I talk, but they can't feel the rhythm of the path that I walk. Yeah, grand rising. It's more than a greeting, it's a state of being. You can't diagnose a man for being awake. You can't restore someone who never lost their way. Real talk. The silence of the wise. Man, I just finished watching that clip. It's heavy watching people who are supposed to be the gatekeepers of our laws just freeze up. Like the ink on the paper is suddenly invisible when the pressure gets high. It makes you wonder what's really being written behind the scenes while we're all watching the show. Let's talk about it, real talk. I'm sitting here staring at the screen with my head in my hands, watching leaders act like they don't understand the laws of the land. It's a strange kind of silence when the truth is so loud and clear, like the way that one name has harvested a lifetime of fear. So majestic. The book is open on the table, but nobody wants to read the page. We're watching grown men act like children on a national stage. Real talk. They say the rules are set in stone until it's time to move the line, ignoring every warning sign and every sacred design. I see the hesitation in the eyes and the stutter in the breath, like admitting what is written will be a political death. But if the foundation is shaking, what are we supposed to build with the promises of the people left entirely unfulfilled? It's bigger than the person, it's about the soul of the place. Watching integrity vanish without leaving a single trace. They're playing chess with the future while we're stuck in the past, trying to figure out how long this kind of tension can last. Yeah, 16 years of progress can't be erased by a moment of doubt. But that's exactly what happens when the truth is locked out.
The ink is drying on the story they're trying to rewrite,
while the rest of us are searching for a
little bit of light.
So majestic.
It's a heavy price to pay for the silence of the wise,
when the truth is staring back and we're
closing our eyes.
Real talk, yeah.
The silence of
They call it a hypothetical, like it hasn't happened before, but we've seen this movie playing out at every single door. If you Can't say what's right when the cameras are turned on. How can we trust you to lead us when the morning is gone? I'm thinking about my nephews in the world they're gonna see if the people at the top decide that the truth isn't free. It feels like a slow leak in the ship that was built to stay dry, while the captains are arguing about the color of the sky. There's a power in the word, but only if the word is upheld. Otherwise we're just watching the whole narrative get quelled. They're scared of a shadow that they help to create themselves, while the real answers are gathering dust on the shelves. I saw 3 people sit there and choose to say nothing at all, as if the strength of the union wasn't waiting for the call. It's a dangerous game when the referee won't blow the whistle, and the garden of our dreams is being choked by the thistle. You can't rewrite the ending just because you don't like the start. Truth is a vibration that resonates deep in the heart.
Destroying on the story they're trying to rewrite,
while the rest of us are searching for
a little bit of light.
so majestic.
It's a heavy price to pay for the silence of the wise.
When the truth is staring back and we're
Closing our eyes,
real talk, yeah.
the silence of the wise.
Maybe it's time we stop waiting for them to find the spine and start realizing that the future is yours and it's mine. So majestic. A piece of paper, only its power if we give it the breath to keep the spirit of justice from facing the quiet death. Real talk, wait, let me rephrase that. To keep the heart of justice beating. I'm looking for the courage that they talk about in the books, but all I'm seeing is sideways glances and nervous looks. Only 2 is a number that shouldn't be hard to defend, unless you're planning on making the rules start to bend. It's a pattern of behavior that's becoming the new norm, while we're all out here just trying to survive the storm. If the law was a suggestion, then what do we have left but a feeling of abandonment and a sense of legal theft? I wanna see a leader who isn't afraid of the name, who values the principle more than the points in the game. Because when the curtains close and the lights finally fade, with the ones who have to live with the choices they made. Don't tell me you're confused by the language so plain, while the rest of the country is feeling the weight of the strain. The silence is a choice and it speaks louder than words, like a warning that's traveling in the flight of the birds. Keep your eyes on the ink and your hand on the wheel, because the tension we're feeling is beginning to get real. Yeah, we see the script now. It's funny how people project their own mess onto a clean surface. Yeah. I've been sitting back watching the tables turn. They thought they were burying me, but they were just planting seeds. Real talk, so majestic. They came for my character with a heavy hand, thought they could humble the man where he stands. Tried to teach me a lesson I already knew, but the mirrors they held only reflected their view. Straight up, they gathered the crowd just to spread out the lies, thinking the mud would eventually cover my eyes. Yeah, a smear campaign running through every street, waiting for me to admit to defeat. Facts. Wanted the world to see me as a fool, breaking the bonds and ignoring the rule, talking like I was insane in the head, counting the days till my spirit was dead. But I kept my peace while they shouted so loud, building the wall just to block out the cloud. So majestic, they tried to commit me to boxes and cages, while I was just turning the best of my pages, for sure.
They are everything they said I was.
Yeah, watching the cycle return to the cause. The truth came to light and it opened the doors.
Now they are feeling the weight of the Lord.
Boss.
They are everything they said I was.
So majestic, no more disguises and no more applause.
The tables are turning without any pause.
Yeah,
They are everything everything they said.
What started in secret is catching them now. The weight of the crown is affecting their brow. They thought I was finished, but look at the shift. The very same people are caught in the drift. They said I was messy and lacking the grace. Now look at the panic all over their face. I said this blade was open for everyone's sight. Now they are the ones looking for a way out of the light. They see that I am exactly who I claim, while every false witness is feeling ashamed. They're turning on each other like wolves in a pack, trying to find a way to take it all back. Watch, the blessings are flowing in full force today, clearing the obstacles out of my way. And those who were judging are shaking their heads, realizing they sleeping in all of those beds. No lie.
Yeah, everything they said I was.
Watching the cycle return to the cause. The truth came to light and it opened the doors.
Now they are feeling the weight of the law.
Man,
they are everything they said I was.
So majestic, no more disguises and no more applause.
The tables are turning without any pause.
Yeah,
they are everything they said I was.
faith in the highest is what kept me whole, maintaining the focus and guarding my soul. I never lost sight of the place I began, even when they had a different plan. It's a 24/7 shift in the wind, counting the moments where truth will begin. 100% of the glory is due to keeping it real and remaining so true. Real talk, I'm about to come into a season so bright. Yeah, while they have to struggle to make it alright, they're thinking to themselves how they look in the end, losing the person they call their best friend. So majestic, the drop of a hat was enough to move on. Now they awaken to find I am gone. Without even asking, they followed the cry. Now the silence is feeling remarkably loud. Believe that they projected the chaos and called it my own, but the seeds of the bitterness finally have grown in their own backyard, where the weeds are so high, trying to find a new truth in the lie. I'm walking in power and standing in light, while they have to deal with the end of the fight. Keep it moving, the story is written and the ink is all dry. No more questions and no more but why. Real talk.
Yeah, everything they said I was.
Yeah, watching the cycle return to the cause. The truth came to light and it opened the doors.
Now they are feeling the weight of the law.
Lost.
They are everything they said I was.
So majestic, no more disguises and no more applause.
The tables are turning without any pause.
Yeah,
they are everything they said I was.
It's funny how that works. You try to paint someone else as the villain just to hide the fact that you're the one holding the brush. Yeah, I stay consistent, I stay grounded. Now the world sees the difference.
So majestic.
Keep that same energy you had when you were lying on my name. Real talk. Royal D. We out. I seen the signs. I felt the weight, I had to speak on it. Real talk. It's for the block, for the families, for the ones who keep it moving. So majestic. Morning breaks in the city, still breathing through the haze. People juggling their hope while they navigate the maze. New machines on the skyline, but the car stays hidden. Power lines humming louder and the water keeps dripping. Folks ask what it means when the upgrades come with pressure. Jobs on one hand, but the other hand says measure. Cause if the smoke rise heavy and the bills rise too, then the same old struggle comes back in the new view. Kids need clean air, not another reason to cough. Mothers need a break, not a plan that cuts them off. City halls making deals while the block stay watching, trying to keep peace when the signal stay blocking. Truth in the street, gotta travel through the noise, every voice matters. When the people make choice, ain't no love and neglect we can feel when it's real. So we ask for the facts before the next big deal.
We need clean ground, clean air, clean truth in the light.
Yeah, we need folks at the table,
not kept out of the fight.
Real talk.
When the pressure come down, we still rise with care.
So majestic.
For the homes, for the kids, for the people out there.
They build fast, talk faster, but the streets know the cost. If the burden lands here, then the whole block lost. Water poor, land changed, and the noise don't sleep. That kind of pressure move deep through the concrete of the weak. And when the word gets around, they try to soften the view, but the neighborhood feel what the headlines won't do. So we keep eyes open, keep records, keep track. What they promise on the front end, they owe on the back. If the air gets thin, then the lungs pay price. If the plan ain't fair, then it can't be right. Need hearings in the daylight, not late in the dark. Need maps and reports where the people can mark. Need leaders who listen, not just sign and go. Need real investment where the strong winds blow. Cause the city ain't a canvas for a quiet few. It belong to the many, and the many know the truth.
We need clean ground, clean air, clean truth in the light.
Yeah,
we need folks at the table, not kept out of the fight.
Real talk.
When the pressure come down, we still rise with care.
So majestic.
For the homes, for the kids, for the people out there.
What good is progress if it leaves folks behind?
What good is a future with a tired mind?
We can build smarter, we can move with grace if the community voice stay part of the place. So I'm speaking to the corners, to the elders, to the youth, to the ones who keep it solid and still stand on truth. Document every promise, every leak, every claim, cause memory gives power and the facts hold weight. Link arms with your neighbors, make a circle of trust. When the people stay united, they can't move past us. Ask for clean standards, ask for checks on the load. Ask who profits first when they widen the road. And don't let silence dress up like peace in the room. Real peace need justice, real growth need room. We can guard our block without losing our soul. We can push for better and still stay whole. That's the work, that's the mission, that's the line in the sand. A city for the people with a future in hand. So I speak this with hope and I speak it with care. We protect what we love when we stay aware.
We need clean ground, clean air, clean truth in the light.
Yeah,
we need folks at the table, not kept out of the fight.
Real talk.
When the pressure come down, we still rise with care.
So majestic.
For the homes, for the kids, for the people out there.
Lock in. Stay informed. And keep the community close. That's how we protect the block. And build something better together.
So majestic.